Thanks to Kristen. Let's continue on this topic. Shan Wu is a defense attorney and former federal prosecutor. So Shan, what legal questions do you see in these tax returns?
All the issues that have been flagged in Kristen's reporting, as well as what was brought out in the New York Times and by the Joint Committee on Taxation, these kinds of valuations of his businesses, the perfect matching of expenses to revenue to make sure he pays no income taxes, what we've heard about with how he would inflate values of properties in the New York matters, these all warrant further inquiry and investigation. Now, that may already be happening. No reason why DOJ couldn't have been looking at this earlier, but unlikely. I mean, I think they lack the appetite right now to take on another Trump investigation. We probably would have known about it if they were actually conducting a criminal investigation on taxes. I think what this really points out is the lack of prosecutorial courage on Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's part. I mean, they got a conviction of the organization. It's a small family-owned business, small step to charge Trump as well, but he chose to derail that investigation. So what they got left with was the conviction of an entity, not a person, and even the chief financial officer pled guilty. So the questions that it really raises for me are, why aren't there more criminal investigations looking at this right now?
Investigators have also questioned whether the tax returns show that Trump may have disguised gifts to his children. Tell us what that would mean, why that could be problematic, and how difficult that would be to prove.
It wouldn't be too difficult to prove once you got everybody's records. Usually what happens with a gift tax violation is simply somebody has to pay taxes for it. I think here it would be plugged into the big picture of all of the questionable issues going on, and that could become a criminal tax fraud case where he is evading millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. And for cases like that, I mean, there's a popular notion the IRS tends to like to go after smaller targets than larger ones, and we're kind of seeing that to be true here. But on the other hand, when you have a series of violations that is adding up to this kind of loss to the government, then that is what crosses the line between maybe a civil penalty versus a criminal prosecution.
And returns show that Trump had foreign bank accounts, including an account in China, between 2015 and 2017. Does that raise any concerns with you?
It isn't necessarily a concern about legality. I mean, people doing business in other countries are going to have foreign bank accounts. I think what that really flags for me is what a big botched job the IRS did in not conducting those audits, and also how important it is that candidates for president do continue this practice of releasing the returns, because that's something important for the press, for the people to question what kind of foreign interests did you have. They might be perfectly innocuous, but people should know. It shouldn't be concealed from them. And Congress probably should really pass a law requiring that disclosure of the presidential candidates' taxes.
I know that is something that Democrats have talked about. Shan Wu, thank you very much.